I just want to ask about President Biden. He is saying he's going to run again in 2024. Will you support him?
You know, if the president chooses to run again in 2024, I mean, first of all, I'm focused on winning this majority right now and preserving a majority this year in 2022. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think if the president has a vision, then that's something certainly we're all willing to entertain and examine when the time comes.
That's not a yes.
Yeah, you know, I think we should endorse when we get to it. But I believe that the president has been doing a very good job so far. And, you know, should he run again, I think that I think we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
But right now we need to focus on winning a majority instead of a presidential election.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and wow, President Joe Biden is not only losing support from the American people, but also from Democrats in his own party. We're hearing that behind closed doors, there are literally dozens and dozens of Democrats saying he shouldn't run in 2024. They're not getting his back. And I'm going to give you all the details as they're saying that he should not run, and because right now his approval is terrible, it's hurting Democrats, and the number one top concern in the country right now is the state of the economy. High gas prices, high food prices, 41-year high inflation, and unfulfilled promises of stimulus provisions, stimulus checks, child tax credits, Social Security increases. And they're saying Biden probably shouldn't run in 2024. It's very likely he's not going to make it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but this is your breaking news, stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, the first that we've heard by name is AOC. Take a look at this, you guys. Why AOC just made Joe Biden's day even worse. We'll take a look at it. AOC refuses to say whether she'll endorse Biden in 2024, saying, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Wow, you guys, let me know your thoughts. That is not a good response. And midterms are historically bad already for a president's party, but now let's add in inflation to the equation. And take a look coming out today. Rick Scott says Biden destroyed America's economy and adds calling for the president to resign, and he is not alone. A lot of people saying he should step down, even people from his own party. All across the board, people are not happy with President Joe Biden. Now, let me know your thoughts. Is it too little, too late? Is there any way that he can recover from this? Can he pull a rabbit out of the hat? Well, what we're hearing is he can, and that rabbit would be stimulus checks. Right now, 80% of the population would approve of an additional stimulus check. I just shared with you in my last video, if you missed it, that there's over $800 billion of leftover stimulus funds from previous packages just sitting there, unused. They never got used for anything, and they're saying the president has the legal authority to bust out an executive order or an executive action to repurpose and reallocate existing funds and send it out to the American people. And it has been done before. Now, let me know your thoughts. Should he do this? Maybe he's waiting towards right before the elections to try to help out the Democrats. Is this a strategy, or is it a missed opportunity? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. But they're focused on the elections. The American people are hurting, focused on the economy. And if there was some way to tie the two together, it could really help them out and they could turn things around. But what we're hearing is right now, they're expecting that Democrats are going to get taken over. There's going to be a red wave by Republicans. Democrats are no longer supporting the president, telling him maybe he should step down. Now, they're also going to be talking about what could unfold if somebody else comes up and challenges him. Historically, we've seen that in that party, whoever is the sitting president, if a challenger comes up, they could overtake the president. But historically, we've also seen that when that does happen, usually the challenger of the other party will win, which they're saying is likely going to be former President Donald Trump. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Would you be happy with Donald Trump? Would you be happy with Joe Biden? Or what about a contender? We're hearing the top one very likely would be Bernie Sanders. Or instead of Trump, we're hearing a lot of calls for Ron DeSantis. Which of those four do you think would be the best fit for everything going on? But we're hearing that number one concern right now is the state of the economy, and Biden is falling short. So you guys, let's dive into the video footage, get you caught up on the latest. You're going to be seeing AOC and others saying that President Joe Biden, he's in trouble. So let's dive right in, get you caught up on the latest. Now, before we do though, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you appreciate the content, keeping you up to date on everything, take a quick second to smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. people, if this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on. Just hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you're notified right away. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into this video footage and get you caught up on everything unfolding with the economy, Biden, stimulus, and the midterm elections.
Poll after poll shows Americans believe the country is heading in the wrong direction, with many placing the blame squarely on President Biden. But there are signs even some elected Democrats are wavering in their support for the president. Listen to Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. CNN's Dana Bash asked her today if she would endorse Biden in 2024.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I think if the president has a vision, then that's something certainly we're all willing to entertain and examine when the time comes.
That's not a yes.
Yeah, I think we should endorse when we get to it. But I believe that the president has been doing a very good job so far, and should he run again, I think that I think it's we'll take a look at it.
So let's discuss with CNN political commentator and former political advisor to President Obama, David Axelrod. Hi, David. So you heard there Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez's comments. They come as the New York Times published this article, and I want to read part of it to you. It says, as the challenges facing the nation mount and fatigued base voters show low enthusiasm, Democrats in union meetings, the back rooms of Capitol Hill, and party gatherings from coast to coast are quietly worrying about Mr. Biden's leadership, his age, and his capability to take the fight to former President Donald J. Trump a second time. So, in your view, should the president be worried about a potential uprising inside his party? What's your reaction to this?
My feeling is if the president decides, and he says he's going to run, if he does run, my guess is he'll not my guess, I'm certain he'll be the nominee of the Democratic Party. It would be suicidal for the party to have a primary campaign against the sitting president of the United States. History is very clear on that. When presidents get serious primary challenges, they generally prevail and they generally lose in a general election. And the one thing that unifies Democrats more than anything is the prospect of a second Trump term. So, I saw some social media from AOC after that interview in which she said she could have handled that answer better and wasn't prepared for it. I don't think she meant to signal disquiet in there, but it does come at a bad time for the president. It's not particularly helpful. I think, Pam, one thing in that story, and I think I was quoted in that story, that is real, and it's different than any other president. I mean, President Obama was under siege as well at this time in his presidency, and there was hand-wringing and quiet meetings going on as well. But he was also 30 years younger than this president, and that is a concern, the ability to run a rigorous, vigorous campaign and manage the presidency at the same time when he's in his 81st year. And I think that's a legitimate question, and it's one he's going to have to consider when he toes up to the line and makes the final call that he's going to go.
But I'm just curious, does what I read to you from that New York Times article, does that seem right to you in terms of this hand-wringing among Democrats as the country sees, inflation go up to record levels? You have the supply chain issues ongoing. Consumer sentiment just hit a record low. Polling showing the economy is far and away the most important factor in voters' choice for Congress. As we head towards the midterms, are you sensing that kind of hand-wringing?
Oh, for sure. First of all, Democrats hand-wring for practice, so it's not unusual for this to be going on. I mean, I experienced that when I was in the White House. So yes, but look, Democrats are in a bad spot right now. I don't think anybody can deny that. I mean, the inflation's at a 40-year high. We're still coming through a pandemic that has unsettled all of us, the whole issue of supply chains, what's on the grocery store shelves and so on. All of these issues have conspired to create a sense of disquiet. Only a quarter of the country think that we're headed in the right direction, despite the fact that we're in a much different place relative to the virus now, and the economy in all other aspects is much stronger than it was a year and a half ago. These are bad signs for Democrats, as is the president's approval rating, which it's at a historic low, hovering there around 40%. All of that is true. There is a lot of time between now and the next presidential election. And again, I think the most important decision is the one the president himself makes as to whether he feels like he is up to another go at this. And I think the thing that's motivating him, Pam, is the prospect of Trump. You hear from the people around him that they feel that he feels that he's the guy who can beat Trump. He did it once. He wants to make sure that Trump is beaten again. He thinks he can do that. So that is animating him in his thoughts about 2024. But that's a long way from now. And at some point, he's going to have to evaluate whether this is the best thing for him, best thing for the party, the country, and his family.
Wow, there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And we heard them mention his age as being a huge contributing factor in this, as they're saying that he actually is the oldest president that we have ever had. He's at 81 years old, and they're saying, is this just too much of a burden for him at his age to be able to handle everything going on a global scale, and then also fighting for the most powerful country in the world? Let me know your thoughts, you guys, in the comments down below. But that is the latest, and we're going to be seeing what unfolds with all this, and if he's going to be able to turn it around by providing some forms of stimulus, fulfilling those promises, and somehow bringing down these prices and this inflation. And I'll be sure to report it here on the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you'd like to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me on the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.